Black and white, thinking limits, understanding, and feedback. Two necessary ingredients for successful resolution in creative conflict and successful understanding. David V. Earl. A bright welcome to all faculty, judges, committee members, and dignitaries on the stage, including our participants, who are the star of the show indeed. I am Diya Jairaj of 5th BILLB, convener of the ADR committee, Keli Law College, Bengaluru. It is my greatest honor to welcome you all to the inauguration program of the first edition of the National Labour Law Conciliation Competition 2024, hosted by Keli Law College, Bengaluru, in association with the Center of Environmental Law, Education, Research and Advocacy, National Law School, India, University, Bengaluru, and Department of Justice, Government of India, New Delhi. Today, it's my pleasure and honor to inaugurate our much anticipated event, which is a gathering of the greatest, brightest minds and future leaders in dispute resolution and conflict management. We are here not only to test our skills and creativity, but also to reinforce our commitment to understanding each other, to provide empathy, and with open mindedness. In a world that's often divided, the power of conciliation becomes all the more significant, and events like these remind us of the potential we have to bridge gaps and foster harmony. As we come together to embark on this exciting journey, we must be sticking to our traditions. So let us begin on a note of harmony and positivity. To set the tone for the day, we have an invocation song by Miss Aisiri Bhatt of BLLB. Please join me in welcoming her. Saraswati Namostute Charade Vidya Prade Saraswati Namostute Charade Vidya Prade Saraswati Namostute करधृत वीणा पुस्तका करधृत वीणा पुस्तका वरमणिमालालङ्कृता करधृत वीणा पुस्तका वरमणिमालालङ्कृता सरस्वती नमोस्तुते मेरा हरि लोट विधिलालिता वरमणियुता कंबुकले सुरसेविता पदयुगले सुरसेविता पदयुगले सुधाकर समरवळे सरस्वती नमोस्तुते शारदे विद्या प्रदे सरस्वती नमोस्तुते Thank you so much, Aishri, for your beautiful rendition. Now it is my honor to invite our Dean, Faculty of Law, Keli Technological University, Principal, Keli Law College, Bengaluru, to deliver the official welcome address.
Honorable dignitaries and Dr. my dear student friends. I take this opportunity to extend a very warm welcome to the first National Labour Law Conciliation Competition 2024. At the outset, I must recall the background under which the program has come to be conceived, I believe. Quickly, if you may have a look at the changed economic developments and the ever-changing patterns of contracts of employment. The contracts of employment have gone to be individualized, and individualized contracts of employment seemingly are serving the purpose, but they are serving the purpose only for the white-collar jobs. Whereas the new employments like the gig workers, organized workers, and so on, their plight remains to be remains to be as exploitative as it is. Whereas somehow the labor laws have taken a backseat in ensuring their welfare. It is in this context we visualize as the industrial jurisprudence continuously recognized mutual settlements and gave primacy to mutual settlements over the adjudication. We thought to take care of the concerns of such workers for whom the legal framework is not vibrant today. At least the conciliation method would help them meet their concerns. It is in this direction we thought we will create an awareness and create expertise amongst the budding lawyers to consider conciliation as one of the methods of resolution of industrial conflicts more suitably. It is in this backdrop, at the collaboration of, it's a collective activity, at the collaboration of Department of Justice and CIRA National Law School of India University. Today's program is organized, and as usual, Professor Dr. MK Rast is just a phone call away for KLU family, being the friend, philosopher, guide for us always. When contacted, sir has happily accepted to be with us and inaugurate this program. I express my gratitude and extend a very hearty welcome to you, sir. In the area of practice in labor and industrial relations, DC Prabhakar Associates is a known name in the country. That was one reason, and our close association over 25 years is another reason that we always wanted representation from DCP Associates. Thus, on our invitation, Madam Pooja Prabhakar has happily consented to be with us, and I extend a very hearty welcome to you, madam. My dear friend and professor of law at Sultan Law College, Goa, Dr. Babu Gowda Patil, is expertising over time in areas, and wherever such competitions are conducted, he is invited, and he also takes the initiative in going and assisting. That's the reason why we have Dr. Babu Gowda S. Patil. A very happy welcome to you, Patil. Last but not the least, dear friend Professor Sairam Bhatt, it is at his initiative and inspiration, I should say, when he called and inquired, there is this opportunity. We have to be conducting a unique activity called the Conciliation Competition. Would you mind taking it forward? Is what the call was. I was very happy first to be associated with Professor Sairam Bhatt, CIRA, National Law School of India University, Department of Justice, Government of India, and all the more the subject which attracted me. Thank you very much for bringing this opportunity to us, and I extend a very happy welcome to you, sir. Center of attraction of this event. We are very happy, though it is a unique and a first activity, first competition of this kind. Almost 24, as many as 24 teams, in fact, have registered, come forward to understand the uniqueness of this competition and registered for this event. I extend you participants a very warm welcome. My happy welcome to the organizing committee. In fact, since it is a combined activity, Mr. Jayapraka, the research associate at Sira National Law School of India University, and my dear colleague, Dr. Mahesh, have toiled, labor, and burnt lots of midnight oil and made this a possibility. I must make a mention of it, and I extend the organizing committee and these members a very hearty welcome. And my warm welcome to all my dear students and my dear colleagues. Welcome all. Thank you.
May I request Dr. MK Rast to present a sapling to Professor MK Rast and extend a warm welcome. May I request Dr. Jaisimha, Associate Professor, to present a sapling to Madam Pooja Prabhakar. I request Madam Sharala Vaidya to present a memento to Professor Babagada S. Patil. I request Ms. Gayatri to present a memento to Dr. Sairam Baxter. I request Madam Sharada to present something to Principal Dr. J. Malikaji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Principal Sir, for your valuable address. At this moment, we are privileged to have our distinguished guests who are experts in this field. Their insights, wisdom, and guidance will no doubt set an inspiring tone for this event. Now, I would like to call upon Madam Rashmi R, Assistant Professor, Theri Law College, Bengaluru, to give us an introduction of our esteemed guests for the day.
Distinguished guests on and off the dais, it's my honor to introduce our esteemed guest for first National Labour Law Conciliation Competition 2024. Professor Dr. MK Rast has been a pillar of excellence in academia, served as a professor at the National Law School of India University since 1992, and as its Vice Chancellor. An extraordinary teaching career spanning over 40 years, Professor Rast has contributed not only to academia but also to public service, including 2 years as Commercial Tax Officer with the Government of Karnataka. Professor MK Rast expertise is vast, encompassing international law, human rights, environmental law, and natural resource management. He has founded 3 centers of excellence at National Law School of India University, notably the Center for Environmental Law, Education, Research and Advocacy in 1997, which has significantly advanced environmental law studies and advocacy in India. A renowned scholar, Professor Rast was a senior Fulbright Fellow in the United States and an Environmental Law Fellow at the Environmental Law Institute in Washington, D.C. His distinguished career includes multiple visiting professorships at prestigious institutions worldwide, including IIT Kharagpur, KTH Stockholm, and Dalhousie Law School in Canada. Professor Rast has been instrumental in shaping national and international environmental policies, advising bodies such as the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, and serving as an expert committees with the United Nations Environmental Programme. A prolific writer and editor, Professor Rast has published over 60 research articles and authored 5 books. Further, cementing his position as a leading voice in environmental law and governance. With these brief introductions, I present before you our chief guest for this event, Professor MK Rast, whose life work has contributed immensely to law, governance, and environmental stewardship. It is my pleasure to introduce a distinguished guest of honor, Ms. Pooja Prabhakar, CEO and Managing Partner of BCP Associates. Ms. Prabhakar is a dynamic leader, legal influencer, and innovator with a career spanning over 2 decades across 2 countries, United States and India. Her professional journey showcases her unique ability to bridge diverse fields and cultures, enriching and legal and corporate landscapes she operates in. After a successful career in the United States, where she held leadership roles in Fortune 50 companies, Ms. Prabhakar returned to India to lead BCP Associates. Under her visionary leadership, BCP has expanded its services significantly, implementing impactful enterprise programs in legal audit and advisory, POSH Act, and people strategy for some of the India's leading corporations. In the United States, she played a pivotal role in launching the first Sarbanes-Oxley compliance program and led nationwide initiatives, including health insurance, product launches, e-discovery projects, and emerging leadership program at Cigna Healthcare. Ms. Prabhakar holds a master's in management from Central Connecticut State University, a bachelor's in information science and technology from Bangalore University, certifications in risk management from London School of Economics, and corporate directorship from the World Council for Corporate Governance, United Kingdom. She actively contributes to industry forums, holding leadership roles with the Karnataka Employers Association, NASCOM, and several committees at BCIC and FICCI. An accomplished leader, Ms. Prabhakar has been recognized with the Lex Falcon Award 2021 and multiple Future Women Leader Award for her excellence and influence in the legal and tech fields. It is truly an honor to have Ms. Pooja Prabhakar with us today as she continues to inspire as a leader, mentor, and trailblazer in her field. It is my privilege to introduce our esteemed guest of honor, Professor Dr. Babu Bauda S. Patil, an accomplished legal scholar and associate professor with more than 2 decades of dedicated services in legal education. Dr. Patil holds a PhD from Goa University and has completed his LLM and LLB from Karnataka University, Dharwad, where he began his journey with a BSc degree. At his institution, Professor Patil has made significant contributions to both academics and student development. He serves as a director for the Moot Court Society and as a valuable member of the editorial board of Salgaonkar Law Review. Professor Patil is also a part of steering committee of the Child Rights Clinic, actively shaping programs that champion child rights and legal aid. Professor Patil is a pioneer in alternative dispute resolution education, having introduced various seminars, workshops, and competitions in negotiation and mediation. His efforts have established VM Salgaonkar College of Law as a leader in ADR skill development. He also has developed ADR teaching modules and organized national rounds of Lewis and Brown claim counseling competitions, training participations to excel. With a deep commitment to legal access, Dr. Patil has served as Director of Legal Aid Society and played a vital role in organizing human rights seminars, national moot court competitions, and ADR events. His research projects on improving access to legal aid, funded by UNDP and UN Women, highlights his dedication to justice for all. Additionally, Dr. Patil has contributed to UGC's e-Patishala initiative, creating e-content to access to justice for postgraduate law students. Dr. Patil's expertise in human rights and ADR has also made him a visiting faculty at Shivaji University and a resource person for Karnataka Institute of Law and Parliamentary Reforms. His contribution to legal education, ADR, and access to justice are significant, and he is honored to present Babu Gowda S. Patil as a guest of honor today. It is my honor to introduce a distinguished guest, Professor Dr. Sairam Bhatt, a renowned scholar and expert in environment and business law. Professor Bhatt holds a BCom degree from Mahajan First Grade College, Mysore, and LLB from JSS Law College, Mysore, LLM PhD from Mysore University. His extensive academic and professional journey exemplifies dedication and impact in legal fields. Professor Burt has made invaluable contributions to legal literature, serving as editor of Kare Law Journal and co-authoring environmental law handbooks for law practitioners. In collaboration with Sira at NLSIU, his published books include law relating to business contracts in India, natural resource conservation law, right to information. Each stands as a testament to his commitment in advancing legal knowledge and practices. Professor Burt contributions extend internationally too. In 2003, he was awarded the Young India Environmental Law Fellowship and served as an adjunct faculty member at Golden Gate University in San Francisco. In 2010, he received a prestigious Fulbright Fellowship and served as a visiting researcher at Georgetown University Law Center. As a Luminous Palmi International Academic Exchange Fellow, he has engaged with the Royal Institute of Technology in Stockholm, contributing to cross-border knowledge exchange. With a career defined by impactful publications, prestigious fellowships, and international collaborations, Professor Sairam Bhatt's influence in legal academia is profound, and it is our privilege to present him as a guest of today's event. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request the dignitaries on the stage to light the lamp. It is now my greatest honor and privilege to welcome the backbone for our event and our constant guide. So please join me in welcoming Professor Dr. Sairam Bhatt, Professor of Law, Coordinator, Co-Director, Sira NLSIU Bengaluru, to address the gathering.
We are here thanks to a project that was granted by the Ministry of Law and Justice, Department of Justice, Government of India, to the Center for Environmental Law at the National Law School. It's a 3-year project, and the name of this project is called Pan-India Legal Literacy and Legal Awareness Project. In the last 3 years, thanks to the team that we have at the center with Jay, Vikas, and Gayatri, it's been a huge learning experience. A learning experience about how in India we still have a great work to do on legal literacy and legal awareness. We have seen that people are educated, people read, but the kind of legal literacy and legal awareness required to solve problems and face challenges is unfortunately not attempted adequately enough. A couple of months back, when we had a review meeting at the ministry, they were looking for new legislations to create legal awareness. And one of the legislations that we proposed was on labor law. And the secretary and the joint secretary in the ministry did say, yes, this is a very important topic. And, we must address this because it is about labor welfare. And to be honest, it is about human rights of workers. And they did say that we must take this initiative to also encourage law students through a moot competition or a conciliation competition to look at legal awareness on labor rights. Friends, labor law is taught, but how much of it is practiced and how much of it is taken forward in terms of empowering workers and laborers in India is something that we all must try hard to achieve. Interestingly, in our research, we found that there are so many labor issues that are written in papers, sometimes addressed through certain state legislations and establishment, but they are not seriously taken forward as labor reforms that are required in this country. We came across two cases. I'll just tell it to the students in the audience here. Very interestingly, we do focus on sexual harassment at workplace, which is critical because there is already a law, and this is where probably some of the labor issues are addressed, apart from various other industrial disputes that are there. But I think what we have realized over a period of time that at workplace, please note, apart from sexual harassment, there are other forms of harassment that now have to be critically addressed. For example, we came across a lot of cases of workplace bullying, and we are trying to address this issue. And could conciliation be one of those areas in which these issues can be highlighted? To be honest, a boss probably does not realize that he's a bully till he is told and informed about the same so that he can change his workplace to make the workplace a much better workplace. We came across another case in a public sector undertaking called ageism. Some of us are on that stage, but luckily we have the same age boss. But ageism, interestingly, is catching up in India as actually another form of workplace harassment. Especially in industries like in Bangalore, which are basically BPO industries or IT industries where they prefer a certain kind of age for that kind of work. So if you go to some of these industries, you'll find that labor rights are of serious concern and they need to be addressed. And the real challenge, friends, is, are we having legal awareness? The problem is that, many of us don't know that we are in a problem. And we do not know how and where to seek that kind of redress. And hence, the legal awareness on labor rights is something that we thought we must attempt through this project. And we thought conciliation competition to bring students to this kind of a subject was the best way forward. And when we just designed this idea, the first person that I called was the Dean and Principal of KD Law College, Sri Mallikarjunaya. Friends, please give Sir a round of applause. For a simple reason, friends, the first line that I said, sir, we are thinking about labor law, conciliation. Saram, we are in for it. He did not hear me completely because probably the kind of friendship, the mentorship that he has given to me personally and to the National Law School over a period of time, I think there was a trust that we can collaborate, partner, and make this first national labor law conciliation a success. I think he believed in that mission. And from there on, it's been a great collaboration, a great partnership. I must especially thank the faculty and the students, especially Manoj sir. I know how much I've troubled him. Dia, she interned with us, and now the way she has taken this forward, I think this has been a great collaborative effort. And we hope that this is just a continuation of the journey on bringing labor rights to the national forefront for labor reforms. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Next, I would like to invite Professor Dr. MK Rast, former Professor of Law, NLSIO Bangalore, to address the gathering.
For this institution, Professor Mallikarjunaya, the two guests of honors, Dr. Pooja and Dr. Babagowda Patil,
my dear friend for more than quarter century, Mr. Sairam Bhatt, my colleagues in the law school here, all my colleagues, Jayabhutrika, the entire team of Sira here, Gayatri, Jayabhutrika and others, and the real players in the entire game, the 24 teams. Such a delight to be amidst you for a variety of reasons. One is to learn from both Professor Mallikarjunaya and Professor Sairam Bhatt that this is the first of its kind, the National Law, Labor Law Conciliation Competition 2024. And to associate with it in whatever form, I think is a privilege. More so in case of somebody like me, who is a misfit in this entire group, who knows nothing of labor law, not in my domain of expertise. And in fact, when Professor Mallikarjunaya invited me, I was just thinking that he was joking. When he was, in all seriousness, he never jokes. He's very serious. And he expects everyone else to be also serious like him. And so, when he, in all seriousness, he asked me to come and inaugurate this program, I told him, look, memo that corner and habit. You cannot transfer a better title than what you have. I have no title at all. That's not what I can transfer. So, forget this thought, get somebody who is better equipped than you. No, we know that you have been a teacher of jurisprudence, so you can bring in a little bit of that to give that kind of moorings that is required for this. But as I see and as I listen to some of the observations made so far, even that foundation is not required to introduce anyone. Anyway, the 24 teams are well equipped, well prepared, and ready to go, get into the competition. And so mine would be I don't know whether it can even be a footnote of what you are already aware of, something very basic. And so just to do a little justice to whatever expectation that Professor Mallikarjunaya had of me, I also did a little bit of study. I think it's always a challenge for me. Whenever I get invitations from Professor Sairam Bhatt or Mallikarjunaya, it's invariably something new to learn. And so I am forced to learn something. So a little bit of learning I did, and I'm not going to share that with you for the simple reason that you are already well aware of it. But let me just reflect on something which is very familiar to all of us, but something we have now under the garb of what is grandiloquently referred to as, acronymed as ADR, Alternate Dispute Resolution, something which is an import from the West to us. In fact, including the legal education that we have and the way in which we are trained and equipped as lawyers, it is Western legal education that we are learning, and we impart also to our students that way. But if you just dissect it a little bit, it is just something which is an alternative to the formal frame of conflict resolution. And what exactly you have mediation, good offices, conciliation, negotiation, and arbitration. You further dissect it, it is something which is very familiar to all of us. It rings a familiar bell in you. As you could really know that it was something which was part and parcel of our culture, our own system, very native and homespun. Every aspect of this. It starts with the family. The head of the family is known for mediation, conciliation, and arbitration. And the panchayat system that we have practiced for ages. And panchayat, as you know, in the true sense of the term, is a Nyaya Panchayat. The kind of Panchayat system that we have is not the Panchayat of yore. The Nyaya Panchayat had the 5 learned, very experienced people to sit and deliberate over every aspect of the communitarian life and then adjudicate. They were a combination of mediators, conciliators, using their good offices, because they were the ones who were considering every member of the community as an extended member of the family. And it was almost like the familial conflict being resolved internally. That's where exactly you find the distinction between the area that we have now, that you have an independent entity, completely different from those who come before that body, either an individual or a committee or whatever, to resolve their conflict. And apart from that difference that you have, all those elements of that ADR you do see in this system of panchayats. Just look at the profile of those members of the panchayat. At least I could identify from whatever history that we are aware of, that these were the men of unimpeachable character, who would take every member of the community into their confidence before they start deliberating over things. And the parties believed in their sense of justice. So they were not ordinary people. And the entire proceeding was in the open, very transparent process. Enough scope for raising objections, claims and counterclaims, issuing clarifications. And they had enough opportunity of ensuring authenticity of submissions, scope for verification of claims and counterclaims. And the outcome was a reasoned, practical, doable solutions. Cut to the present. The ADR speaks of the same. And all that you refer to is a situation coming to the context of this labor dispute. As you know, if you look at the history of the labor laws, about which I need not have to give you any more detail, except that it starts with the basic idea of ironing out whatever problems that are there in that master and servant, in the employer and employee relationship, the unequal bargaining position, the scope for unjust enrichment, the legal instrument and instrumentality to interfere to ensure that the level playing field is made available to them in carrying out the day-to-day activities of an organization. As Dr. Mallikarjun already mentioned about the wave of change that has come about, which has made that space a little bit more less for that kind of adjustment in the fissure and the friction that may be there in the relationship between the two parties here. Because as you know, under the labor law, you have scope for collective bargaining, you have scope for participation, but still that space is getting far more limited. The need for an ADR and conciliation as one of the tools for the same. A particular skill set for a lawyer like you, the budding lawyers like each one of you, is called for to display those attributes of those 8 characteristic features of the elderly people in the panchayat infused in the rules of the game in the area is what is expected, and what kind of skill sets that you have, and how well you are equipped. This is the facility and the forum for you to display. It's a beautiful problem that you have before you. Wonderful names here. Aram Karo, Dhanyavad, Champions, and Shire. You just love the problem. And it's really fun to go through the problem, and in all seriousness, when you look at the scope and the space for finding solution, an obligation that has been imposed on the two parties and the one who would conciliate this. Speak a little louder also. And let me conclude also. Nothing so bad. But it's such a delightful problem that you have, and the 2 days competition that you have, I'm quite sure is going to give you enough opportunities of sharpening your skills of ADI. It will come in handy when you get into the real practice. This is one opportunity where whatever you learned in the classroom, whatever you researched so far, would be brought into play now. And as excited as you are, I think everyone here on the other side are also equally excited to see as to how you are going to fare. And here I am to wish you farewell and do very well in this competition and be successful. My thanks again to the organizers for having me. It's very lucky here. Starting with Sairam and Professor Mallikarjunaya as the ones who have steered the entire operations, culminating in the inaugurals of that. It's a wonderful opportunity. Make the most of it. I'm extremely happy to inaugurate this 2-day event. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are truly grateful for your time and guidance here today. Now, I am extremely privileged to have our guest of honor, Ms. Pooja Prabhakar, CEO and Managing Partner, BCP Associates LLP, Bengaluru, to address this gathering.
Good morning, everyone. Respected Dr. MK Ramesh, Dr. Babu Gowda Patil, Dr. Mallikarjunaya, Dr. Sairam Bhatt, all the distinguished members of the audience and dear students. It is indeed my privilege and pleasure to be part of the inauguration of India's first ever Labour Law Conciliation Competition at KLE College, Bangalore today. You are undoubtedly the trailblazers in your space, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this. I am the only non-academia person on stage, and therefore, while they are very eloquent and comfortable speaking extempore, I will use my points to speak. So, where I come from, we see conciliations happening every day in action. We see it in action every day. And from our office, we do about 100 or 150 conciliations a year. This is apart from what we do in the sexual harassment space. And as you all know, conciliation is a great tripartite mechanism to resolve labor law disputes. And typically, they are in the nature of employee terminations, wage scale disputes, bonus, change in service conditions, monetary claims, and the kind. And what we see is about 50% of these getting resolved amicably with positive outcomes through conciliation. Conciliations really are a win-win for all the parties involved. Apart from providing an avenue to mitigate unfair labor practices, promote social justice, promote industrial peace. It provides the benefit of lower costs and reduced time than traditional routes, as you know. But most importantly, it has a positive reputational impact. For instance, in the case of companies, the lesser the number of court cases, it can mean a better brand image for these organizations from an employee standpoint to attract and retain talent, from a customer standpoint, competitors, and the industry at large. So while the benefits are there, what we strive for and what we really want is to increase this 50% success rate that we see. How is it that we can achieve it altogether? One, I feel, is initiatives like this. This can create the necessary talent pool that is a critical requirement today. So right at the student age, you get the opportunity to dive into the intricacies and the mechanics of real-world practical situations that equip you to contribute almost immediately as soon as you enter the working world. How to approach conciliation, how to use your words to effect desired outcomes are all learnings that can take you a long way, which I'm sure you will get over these next 2 days by participating in this competition. While this is one side of the coin and one aspect in increasing the success rate, can we also add another dimension to it? Is there any way we can look at it creatively in a manner that we may not have considered before? Can we create an entire ecosystem and environment that in and of itself enables the success of conciliation and mediation? Now, I had the good fortune of seeing this in person in Singapore a couple of years ago, and I was personally blown away. Now, the approach to tripartism is different in different jurisdictions based on the country's history, mindset, culture, and things like that. And what Singapore has achieved was beyond impressive. Now, just imagine this. You are an aggrieved party. You're angry because you think you've been wronged, and you're aggressively hurtling towards a conciliation center or mediation center. Let's say you're going in a cab, you get off the cab, and you see a very impressive open green building, unexpected. You walk in, you enter the space, there are signs directing you towards the conciliation center. You start following those signs. Then you come to a large sign that says enter. And what you see is a long meandering pathway with a signboard that says the tripartite way. It's a meandering path. There is greenery all around. There are nice flowers. There are nice plants. And there are little signboards hanging on the sides with positive words on it. You walk down this entire path curious. It ends in glass doors. The doors slide open for you. And then you enter this beautifully appointed space. Pastel shades, nicely appointed furniture and furnishings, soft rounded edges, nothing sharp, nothing screaming out at you. Absolutely no sensory stimulation. You're greeted by a person and directed towards a conciliation room. There is a conciliation officer who very cordially invites you. What is this? What happened here? This is Singapore's Tripartite Alliance for Dispute Management Center. Now, they had deliberately and beautifully designed a space conducive to peace and harmony. By seamlessly integrating the purpose of the building into the design and architecture of the building, they conditioned your mind a certain way as you entered it. They made sure you spent enough time in that design, and your mindset perhaps changed a bit, or you were a little curious, you were a little thrown off before you actually entered the space. Through this combination of colors, nature, words, and the building itself, a lot of sunlight, they had you where they wanted to. So as the Vice President of Karnataka Employers Association, I visited the Singapore's TADM Center in 2021, along with the Singapore National Employers Federation and the National Trade Union Congress. The TADM team very, very proudly walked us through the entire setup, explaining it in painstaking detail. Of course, we were the first delegation that went right after COVID, so we were very excited to see people from outside. According to me, it truly was tripartism at its best. in a state of nirvana, if you will. Of course, Singapore is a much smaller country with much smaller scale, and perhaps it's easier for them to achieve this. So in my opinion, this is certainly one of the other ways in which we could increase that 50% success rate. So much success can be achieved through route of conciliations and mediations. Today, we're seeing that a great pool of talent is being developed right here, and each one of you, through the skill that you acquire and inculcate, can use the power of your learnings and experience to create the influence and impact on all parties involved in a conciliation. Now, Dr. Sairam Bhatt from CIRA has been the innovative thinker, and this competition is his brainchild. KLE has collaborated with CIRA and the Government of India, and therefore I feel this trio may actually have the ability to influence the creation of conducive spaces in our countries as well. Maybe we can pilot it here in Bangalore and add that other dimension. It would certainly be worth its while, and I would encourage if you could, spearhead this effort. So in conclusion, my dear students, I wish you all the very best for this one-of-a-kind competition and a very exciting 2 days ahead. I congratulate the management and thinkers who put this together and wish you the very best in taking this forward. Thanks again for the opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable words and sharing your expertise. I am sure that your insights will resonate with everyone here. Finally, it is my honor to welcome the guest of honor, Dr. Babu Gowda S. Patil, Associate Professor, V.N. Salgaonkar College of Law, Panjim, Goa, to the stage to address this gathering.
Thank you. Finally, my turn came. So I've been waiting for so long. So my friends, Sairam and Mallikarjuna, and the guest of honor, Ms. Pooja, and the chief guest, my teacher, Ramesh sir. And people who are gathered here, participants, students, and my colleagues from KLE. So this event has been, a lot has been spoken about this event being unique, being one of its own kind. But what I feel is this event is being timed to perfection. We are in the world of LPG. There is globalization, privatization, liberalization going on. Labor law has taken a backseat for quite too long. Hardly there are any competitions happening anywhere in India which is labor law focused. We talk about environmental law, we talk about international law, we talk about international treaties in the moot courts, but never on labor law. See, labor law, it looks like the youngsters, it's not their pet subject. It's no more a pet subject. It's no more a pet area of practice. But this is one small step, a humble step, to reintroduce labor law to the younger generation. Area and labor law seems to be distant cousins. Nothing looks to be in common between the two. Because the labor law deals with the most fiercely competing parties. One side, the trade union, other side is the employer. Both have conflicting interests, and there's no question of stopping or resolving the dispute. The only option left is adjudication. But here is an attempt to introduce to you that how a labor law could be resolved through ADR processes. As far as path ahead is concerned for this event, see here we are all sitting here trying to resolve the dispute. But when it comes to a negotiation, there are multiple opportunities out there. We can negotiate to enter into a contract of employment. We can negotiate salary terms. And that is something which has to be introduced into Indian scenario. So this competition, what you are organizing, it can evolve into a multiple different level of competitions where we can negotiate deal negotiation rather than problem resolving negotiation. And there again, a professional negotiators can play a major role. And that is what I'm expecting that this event should go into. And there are some tweaks that we need to do in the near future because the Mediation Act 2023 has been passed and structure has to be brought into action or brought into reality. Once it comes into reality, because this Mediation Act 2023 amends 9 legislations, and one of the legislation that it is amending is Industrial Disputes Act and the Labor Code. So once these provisions are amended, there's going to be slight difference in the way conciliation is going to be conducted. Because the Mediation Act says any conciliation under ID Act has to be done according to the rules and regulations of Mediation Act 2023. I think we need to adapt to that new scenario and continue this competition. I feel that this competition must go on, continue, whether Department of Justice supports, but because there are two huge institutions have taken it up, National Law School as well as KLE, and I do see that it has a bright future. And it's a necessity. Again, yesterday we were talking about the way we are conducting this program, because today we are inaugurating, but the program has started around 3 days back when we had first orientation, then the insights, conceptual understanding of the competition, and today there's actual competition between the participants. So there are efforts taken by the institution to make it a grand success. And I hope that all the teams will participate in the spirit of the competition and may the best team win. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We really appreciate the support that you have extended to us. Now, before we end our inauguration and start with the competition rounds, I would like to invite Dr. Anita MJ Ma'am, Vice Principal, KLE Law College, Bengaluru, to deliver the vote of thanks. Respected dignitaries on and off the dais, participants, dear colleagues, and my dear students. Now, I, on behalf of KLE Law College, take the privilege of proposing vote of thanks. First, I would like to thank Chief Guest of today's function, Professor Dr. MK Rast, former Professor and in-charge Vice Chancellor, MLSIU Bengaluru, for taking time from his busy schedule to inaugurate the event and inspiring us with his insightful words. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now I request Dr. J. Mallikarjunaiah, Dean Faculty of Law, to present a memento to sir as a token of respect. Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to thank guest of honor of today's function, Ms. Pooja Prabhakar, CEO, Managing Partner, PCP Associate, LLP Bengaluru, for gracing the function. Thank you, Madam. I request Ms. Chandrakala, Faculty, to present a memento to Madam as token of love. Now, I would like to thank other guests of honor for today's function, Dr. Babu Gowda S. Patil, Associate Professor, VM Salgaonkar College of Law, Goa, for giving his valuable perspective regarding conciliation competition. Thank you very much, sir. I request Dr. Sairam Bhatt, Professor, MLSIU,
to present a memento to Sir as a second officer. Our special thanks to associate partners in organizing this event, that is Department of Justice, Government of India, New Delhi, and Professor Dr. Sairam Bhatt, Professor of Law, Coordinator, SIRA, for his unwavering support. Thank you, sir. We truly grateful for your encouragement. We look forward to continue to work together in future also. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to thank Professor Dr. Mallikarjunaya, Dean Faculty of Law and Principal, for his guidance and meticulous supervision and encouragement. Thank you very much, sir. I would also like to thank participants, organizing committee members, staff, and volunteers in making this function a great success. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
Now I request the volunteers to escort the judges of the rounds to LH4 in the first floor and the team managers to escort your participants to AV room, fourth floor. For draw of lots and orientation, the judges briefing will happen in LH4.
All the first year students stay back for a minute. Participants kindly move to AV room, which is on the fourth floor. Yes, the first year students, kindly mark your attendance there with the respective teachers or HODs there. See now, as informed by your course teacher on legal methods, this is part of your assessment. 5 marks are earmarked for that. So you're supposed to observe room round 1 and 2 and prepare a report. How to prepare a report? What is the format? Don't worry, I will share the format in some time. Now, 11:15 a.m. So now it is 10:30. You take half an hour break. By 11 o'clock, all of you should be there in the respective classrooms which have been identified. I hope the list is shared. So as per the list, you have to go and sit in that particular LH only. Your attendance will be taken in that LH for first round and the second round. Once you go and settle down in the room, you are not supposed to move anywhere for 75 minutes. After 75 minutes, you have almost 1.5 hour break for the second preliminary round. So once you enter the conciliation room, no question of moving out for 75 minutes. That is 1 hour 15 minutes. No movement from there. It will disturb the competition. So finish all your activities and go and sit. Your water bottle, your washroom, all activity you finish and go and sit there for 75 minutes. No movement from there. In your room only the format will be supplied. You have to write and submit it after the second preliminary round is over. Second preliminary round commences at 2 o'clock. So from 12:30 to 1:45, you have a break. Means at 1:45, you are supposed to again assemble back in the same room which has been allotted to you. And lunch is arranged for all. Go and have lunch in the cafeteria. The concerned committee members may distribute the coupons also. So have lunch there. Don't go out. Have lunch and come and settle down in your same classroom which you were sitting in the first round at 1:45 p.m. At 1:45 p.m. attendance will be taken again. So kindly adhere to this and complete the assignment. Now you can take a break. Be there in the respective rooms by 11 a.m. 11 a.m. attendance will be taken by the assigned teachers. Thank you.
Once one of the farmers, he's standing there and said, the rest all move. What was instructed to do? What is this comment? Is this comment? Correct? Huh? Correct? A little louder. All four of you here. Fine. The one with the helmet. Give me suspicion. Come here. You exactly. Come. Electrician is class now. Just pass on to your instructions given. You are not the candidate of this college at all. You are not the college student. Was it not important where all other students are ready to be coming in formals? Don't you know it? Should I come and tell you specifically that you should get formals or teacher should come and tell you? Any event happening in the campus, don't you know this minimum things? And you say this is a formal? I would rather say you're coming for a morning session. It's not a fashion show. Where's your bag? What's your book? Where? Come along with me. Show your bag in your book. Where down? Where are the formats? It's not it's an exam. It's an excuse. Beach band, the garden band. The part of the no, stop listening and talking different. Change yourselves, otherwise we have to punish you people and make them which is very harsh on us. We are not doing any favors. That we are helping you to learn the things in a better way. Learn to acknowledge it and follow the rules and regulations. You are not anyone alien to us. Neither being a first year student, we are going to treat you differently. Any event happening in the campus is supposed to be in the ground and on the day of the performance. And this is no performance, I guess. None of these are diets for the child. I was absent, I was unwell, I was not there for the past 1 week. So we don't take the updates and how do you We're so unwell, so absent yesterday. Then how do you not say even talking to them? There are no regular classes and we should take sessions. Don't you get sick? Don't you say? There are no friends for you. There are, right? So your well-wishers did not inform you. Then they are not your well-wishers. And none of them are their well-wishers of yours. So the last day, if I see they are working with the same nonsense, right?